We're back with another episode of Biz Mindz, and on this episode we have Brynn Fuentes, the owner of Brynn Skincare Essentials.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, so let's learn a little bit about you. How long have you been in the Naples area, and what brought you down to Naples?
Well, I've been in Naples for about 5 years now, and I came for love. My husband now, I was living in Miami, and he was like, "You got to come to Naples. It's beautiful." I came over a few times and I really enjoyed it. Everybody's super nice. It just seems like you're always on vacation and you can calm down. And, the community is definitely thriving. Mm-hmm. And I just couldn't wait to be a part of it. Yeah. So I was happy to come over, and now I'm just continuing to meet new people, and it's been great.
Yeah. It's funny how Miami's only a couple hours from Naples, but it's such a change of pace, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's very different, but, it's great. I mean, this is why Florida's so great, because we can, everything's really 2 hours away from us, mm-hmm. Whether it's, the vibrance of like a crazy city life or coming down. And Naples has a city life. It's,
it's
we're
growing.
Up and coming, exactly, and getting a lot of, young, entrepreneurs that are coming in and really infusing, Naples with such a great vibe and such great ideas. So it's exciting to live here in this time.
Yeah. And you mentioned entrepreneurs. How did you tell us a little bit about, your work life, what industry you worked in, and then how that kind of led to you opening up your own business?
Oh, that's interesting, actually. So I was a radiation therapist for 20 years, and I still am. I'm still a licensed radiation therapist. And so what that does, or what that occupation is administering radiation to cancer patients.
Oh, wow.
Or patients with cancer. And so it was very, very important that we monitored what the patients were, eating, of course, along with the doctor and everything, but we saw them every day. So, just even everything that was on their skin, especially in relation to the area that we were treating, their skin had to be, clean, but every doctor was a little bit different in the way they handled it. But everybody, it was the same, the skin has to be clean and the products have to be clean. So that kind of got me thinking, and I really wanted to go kind of the radiation route. That is something that is definitely going to come up later, but that's a lot more formulation. Mm-hmm. I really, kind of got into, really checking in the ingredients and see what was in stuff. And, at that time, it was just to see what interacted with the radiation. So I could recommend things to my patients. And also, because I was around the radiation, I needed to be very cognizant of what I was putting on my body. And so that really started making me dig deep in wanting to use more quality products. And I've always made my own products. I always have. My mother's been making her own products. Yes. So, this is, you would not want a product that I actually made myself in the house, because there's no lab quality testing. Mm-hmm. So, I always say they're unstable. That's the junior chemist in me, that uses those words. But, yeah, so, I worked with the lab and, came up with some good clean ingredients. And so our kind of, idea is kind of this quiet beauty where, the products are natural, but you're not sacrificing, the beauty of what you want. So you want a product that is eco-friendly. You want a product that is natural and, that doesn't disrupt, but, works with, your system and your skin and also looks pretty on your counter. Why shouldn't we have everything, especially in 2024?
Yeah. So how difficult is it really to have clean products?
Hard.
And why is that? Because sometimes, I know it's completely different from, of course, your products, but I don't know, you'll pick up like a cookie box somewhere and there's like 50 ingredients, but why does it take 50 ingredients to create a cookie, And it's just all these things that you have no idea what they are or even how to say them.
Yeah.
Do you see, I'm assuming that applies to across the board, right? For anything and everything. Is a lot of that, the ingredients that people don't know how to, that have no idea what it is it because of shelf life for products?
Some of it is. Definitely there's duration, and some products, they go bad, especially in, cosmetic, well, not really cosmetics, but, skincare, you can see that, it's a white product that's turned brown or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely full of preservatives, and it's cheaper to use synthetic products when you're actually, and I'm not saying they're not, lab tested. Again, I don't know what their company's doing. I only know what my company's doing. But so it is definitely, it's cheaper and it's easier to just put a bunch of synthetic stuff together than actually go, okay, if we put vitamins and plants together and, isolate what's good about them and put them into a product, that's a lot harder. That takes a lot, a lot more time to do.
Yeah. But I feel like more people are awake to wanting simple and clean. Yeah. Just everything, right? Especially products.
Yeah.
And that's the way that your company is going, right? Like, yes. You guys want to focus on just cleaner products.
Yeah. I feel like, everybody deserves that. I mean, we're informed consumers right now. We're in the store, we're taking out our phones and we're looking. I mean, there's no more, pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. People know what they're getting into. And, hey, I'm just as guilty as everybody else as far as like just grabbing the latest product that, the influencer said, to grab. And you don't always think about it. And you're like, I kind of don't want to think about it because, this is, kind of works for me or it's kind of cool. But I think that especially, because we're so informed right now, you do kind of, that you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's breaking me out. Or, maybe I don't need 8 steps just to go to bed. You're like, because now you haven't isolated what's working and what's not working. And you've spent all of this money on, products and, natural skincare does cost you more, but you've got to see the benefits of it. Now it's going to work and it's going to last. I mean, I'm not talking about like aloe vera. I'm talking about, coconut oil, products that people have been using throughout time, and everybody's ancestors. I mean, this is not, inclusive to, one type of, area or anything like that. People have always been using stuff, that's from the garden or from, the trees or, and stuff like that. Like I have a face scrub and it's all fruit-based. And so, and it's great. It's just exfoliating. It feels amazing, but it's not drying out your skin. So it's not it's not disrupting it, and that's what we want to do. We want to calm your skin down and we want to get back to basics. And sometimes it takes a little bit because it's not easy to calm your skin down, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. What are some things that you've learned so far in business that maybe have been like maybe you had an idea of what it was prior to getting into business, but then you were like, oh wow, this is completely different, or maybe I didn't think it was this way, or just anything along those lines?
I think all of it. I mean, there is the business aspect, there's the social aspect. There is a lot of, I tend to be kind of shy, and so I have to talk to people now and, really interact. And I think once I start, it's not so bad. But I mean, it's a lot of, you have to work every day, and it's 7 days a week. This is not clocking out. This is, okay, that didn't work. It's your computer crashes. You may have a good team, but most of the time, it's hard. It's been, really hard to find a team of people that are, have the same work ethic. And, I wouldn't expect them to, because this is my baby, not theirs. So, and you got to pivot, and I'm learning that every day, but I love it because every day I'm learning like 3 or 4 new things. So, pretty soon I'm going to be pretty dangerous. But now you definitely, we all need people, and, any advice is just always welcome. There's a lot of people that are, in the game and they've been doing, a phenomenal job. And, I think that everybody should really just take time to learn from, other business people, because it doesn't matter what business you're in. You can always just add some value to somebody else. And so I think that's what it is. As long as we continue to add value to each other, to each other's lives, especially to each other's businesses, things are going to be pretty good.
Right.
Where can we find your products? Is it just in your website or?
Yeah, just online currently.
Just online, okay.
You can, still
They're
buy
not
it
in
from
any store? Or,
No, not yet. I'm thinking about it, but right now I'm trying to, I don't know, maybe it's a little too controlling, but we'll see. Yeah.
Or like providing it to some med spas, because I know that a lot of med spas, they have products.
Yeah, they do carry.
Sell. Yeah, they sell. We were just there yesterday, and she had like 3 different lines, so that would be a good.
Yeah, it would be good. See?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
See what happens when you leave the house? You get good advice, and
med spas are opening up left and right.
Oh yeah,
they're all over town.
Med spas. I don't actually tend to get many facials, but I like to go in there and kind of look at things and get my eyebrows done and stuff. But I'm very particular about my face, and I use my own products, and it works.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's really cool. Do you think business is for everybody?
No, I don't. And it's just because, I think, of course, anybody can do anything they apply themselves to. But I think it's a lot easier to work a 9 to 5 and walk away from it. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean that your 9 to 5 doesn't need more hours and doesn't need more thought, because of course a lot of us are like, still thinking about work long after we've clocked out. But I do think that it takes a type of person that is going to be dedicated to it. And I do feel like a lot of people give up because it is hard, and you're going to have a lot more failures than you are successes. But it's okay. Just pivot. That's what I think. And, I just have to believe in myself. And I'm lucky enough to have a husband that, takes off of work and that is just always here to support me, because it is not easy. And, we just, I think, 5 days out of the week or 7 days out of the week, 2 days out of the week, you're just down on yourself. Yeah. But, it's nice to have somebody to help you pick up.
Yeah, business can definitely get very lonely, even with a good support system, right?
Yeah, for
Imagine
sure.
without, it's like even harder, right? Are you money driven?
No, I'm not. We have another business, and I am very, very fortunate that business allows me to do my passion. Mm-hmm. That's just it. What I love for, to walk in every bathroom and every man and woman to have my products on their counter, absolutely, because I do believe that they work, and I want people to actually not necessarily even just choose my products, but choose something that's right for them, something simple, something minimal, effort with maximum results. I want them to choose clean products. Again, even if you're just using the aloe plant, I just want people to be happy and have people to have beautiful skin, because you should have the option every day to wear makeup or not wear makeup. And men are wearing makeup now too, but we just need to, feel confident, in our skin, every day. And I think that's what it is. And I think if you're in any business for money, good luck. I know a lot of businesses, they work like that, but I think skincare does not work like that. Mm-hmm. I think it's really just a labor of love, at least
passion.
for me.
Your passion.
For sure.
What, it's so interesting, right? Because what happens when your passion, let's say somebody's passionate about something and that thing doesn't pay. I hate to make it about money, but I feel like almost everything kind of leads back to money in a sense, right? Everything costs something, or a successful business that's passion driven or mission driven. I feel like if they weren't generating, it's hard to impact or keep impacting more and more, right?
Yeah, I'm absolutely going through it, now. It's hard. It's hard to keep, for the proverbial doors open, because you keep infusing more money into it and trying to go, okay, well, this didn't work, what about this, But it's just that's the only thing I can do is just keep trying. Mm-hmm. And, I work to be able to support this. Mm-hmm. We're a two income house. We work, and this is something that I just continue to put my effort towards because I believe it. Now, how long that will last, I don't know. Because when you run out of money, you run out of money. But, you try and you put a little bit more money together. And yeah, you may not be able to go out to dinner, every night or, a couple nights a week because you have to sacrifice, but you sacrifice for things you love and things you believe in.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about that? Because I feel like we have this conversation, not all the time, but pretty often. And it's still one of those conversations that's so interesting because, everybody, it's almost like just like everybody in this country, like we wake up and we're always like chasing something, right? Doing something, going after something. And you're spending so much time outside of your home space, right? Sometimes you spend more times with coworkers than you do with your loved ones, right?
Yeah.
And you ask, like, I always think about, like, but then how do you get that back? Like, how do you buy back that time? And then to me, I think it's money, right? Like you make a lot of money or a good amount of money that's relevant to whatever that person. But then you can slowly start to buy back your time. What do you guys think about that? I'd love to know your opinion about that.
Because without money, I feel that you can't. Yes, you can create memories with your family, like spending time at home and doing things. But if you want to do other things, like you said, taking, your parents to dinner or going on trips and things like that, you need money. So then if you don't work or have a business that, makes the money, then how do you accomplish that?
Yeah.
It is kind of hard.
Oh, no. I mean, it's absolutely hard. You've got to, I think it's, I would say Elon Musk says, there's 24, or I don't think it's just him, but 24 hours in a day. It's what you do with those 24 hours. So sometimes you're only going to sleep 4 hours. And so, but I feel like also what happens in our society is that because we're so money focused and, reward based, we're like, okay, I worked 40 hours. Now I want to have fun. And there's always a time and a place to have fun, but we're not working on our passion projects. So you're making somebody else money, but you may not be making you money. So, I feel like it is easy to get bogged down with, okay, I make $10,000 a month or, these days, $10,000 is, it's not a lot. I mean, groceries are ridiculous. But, you get bogged down with, okay, this is my salary, and then I'm going to live within that means. And then you never work on that. Like, I really wanted to be a photographer. And then you're 40 and you're like, well, I don't really want to start that now because I've got 5 more years left. Or, so I think that if you want to do something, you have to sacrifice a little bit. You're going to have to do it in that time where everybody else is out having fun.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And continue to, make money because the money has to come in.
Yeah.
So that's, regardless, you got to hustle.
Yeah. There's almost like a negative stigma around saying like, money driven. Because it's sometimes it's like, it doesn't mean that it's the number one thing, right? But it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. I feel like money gives peace of mind too, as well, with certain things.
It's not an either or. I think that it's a very interesting topic because everything goes back to money, and sometimes we get confused that when we ask the question about money, it's an either or question. But what about everything together, right?
Right.
Even nonprofits, they have to raise money to help people, right? Yep. So they have to be somewhat money driven. Yeah. Because if not, they wouldn't have a good, business.
Right, absolutely.
They couldn't be able to help a cause, right? Mm-hmm. Or even a business. It's and one thing is a hobby, one thing is a business.
Right.
And the business, you need to make money to be able to measure the company as a successful company.
Right.
But sometimes when we speak about money, we're already thinking, if I make money, I'm not going to have a good culture in the company, or I'm not going to do the right things in the company. But I think that everything it's all together. And money is such an important tool that you can use to help people, to grow your team, right, to provide jobs for other people, right? Mm-hmm. That how can it not be one of the most important things in a business,
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand. And I think also it's the way the question is framed.
Yes.
So if it's, are you, revenue driven? Is your company revenue driven? I think that would give you a different answer.
Yes.
But if to say, are you money driven? I think people tend to first go, you first go internally and then you're like, kind of like, because like you said, nobody wants to say, oh no, I only care about money.
Yeah.
But
And there's a reason why we ask the question the way we ask it. We used to ask the question, we used to say, does money buy happiness?
Yeah.
And that was, we wanted to ask the question that way. They said, oh, you should change the way you ask that question, but we're doing it because we want to see how because everybody responds different.
Of course.
And every single response is great, even however they think about it. But it makes you think a little bit. And sometimes when we have the conversation after we ask that question, it sometimes changes people's, perspective on how they think about can money buy happiness, or are you money driven? Right. It's just very interesting.
Well, I find it interesting, everybody's response. And I think they're all, in and of itself, I think they're great responses, but I think it's a very, they're honest responses. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you can't you have a hobby or you have a business.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because a hobby may not make you any money, but you can sell cakes on the side of the road if you want. Yeah. But a business is absolutely going to be, money driven if you want to have any stability and if you want to have any staying power. So yes, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I went personal right away.
How many? So talk to us a little bit about the products that you currently have. I know you mentioned. You have around 14?
Yes, I do have 14 products. But these are my best sellers. So I just thought I'd bring these in.
Yeah. What are they for, like each one?
So Lovely Day, this one here. I named them all myself. So this is a cleansing oil, and anyone can use it, of course, men, male and female, or non-binary. I'm not good at them, but any person. It's a cleansing oil. Primarily, I like to use it when my skin is a little drier, and it is based with like avocado and fig. So and it's taking off all your makeup, all your sunscreen. A lot of people feel like they need to double cleanse. I'm not saying not to double cleanse. I like to double cleanse sometimes too, but this will absolutely do the job. The second one is From Within, and it is a vitamin C serum, but it's got 20%. And so normally 20% seems like a lot, and you're going to have to go through the scaling process, and your face is going to get red. But no, and I'm like, this has like squalene and aloe juice in it, which really calms your skin, and you're not going to have to go through that product, but you are going to get the brightening effect and everything, all the collagen production that vitamin C is known for. And this one is Calling Card. This is my favorite one. These are vitamin C glow drops. And so I just love this product. It's just great because you can, wear it alone, and it's like you just see the results instantly. So you put it on, and it's just not greasy, right? So you're like instantly, like sometimes your skin just looks crepey, and you're like looking, because we look way too close in the mirror anyways. Yes. I don't know why we do that, but we need to. Yeah. So you put it on, and you could just see like the crepiness just go away, and you just have this like glow to you.
I need that.
And you don't.
I was literally just thinking I was sold. Like I'm a customer now.
She hasn't even started. Yeah. I'm sold.
What's that one called?
Yeah. It's called Calling Card. So, and also, another trick that I do is I will put it like, okay, so normally as a woman, we put our makeup on, we put it on in the morning, we put a lot of effort. So we're not, if we've got to go out again, like later on at night, we're like, okay, how am I,
what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. I need some touch up. So, I'll just put a little bit like on a makeup sponge and just kind of go like that. And it just literally gives me that glow again. It feels like or looks like my makeup is just kind of touched up again without that. It just like clears up all of that, mm-hmm. When the foundation and the powder.
After it sits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it clears that up again. You put a little, like powder or talcum powder, whatever it is you want to put on top, and then you're good to go. I also put it in my foundation sometimes. And then, I'll I'll bring it down to my neck. I'll put it on my arms. I'll keep it like in the car and just kind of like, because it's nice and, but it's not greasy. And that is the whole thing. And, it is part of it, nighttime routine if you choose to use it like that. But like, I cannot, when I wake up with an oil slick on my face, like, I break out. Like, I love using all the products. I do. I love the counter, like all the other girls, with all of the products on there. But I've tried the 8 steps, and
like
it's
that.
just,
He's like, can you put these away? I'm like, no. No.
You're like, no,
I need to use them.
Yeah, this is why they spent money on the packaging. I need my stuff. I always say. So yeah, I mean, it's it's one of my best sellers. People love it. They definitely become converts and send it over to somebody else. And the moisturizer. This is called Take Care, and it is an eye and face moisturizer. So it's great. It's a 2-in-1. It's a mid-weight. It's got a plant derivative called dragon's blood in it. So fancy schmancy. But it definitely, it calms down eczema, it calms down the redness. Again, it's not heavy, so it doesn't break you out. It's like, there's nothing worse than like putting something on your face and you're just like, okay, well, I have to wait another 10 minutes to see if this absorbs. And, I mean, for me, my edict is stop putting so many things on your face. Look in the mirror every morning, every night, whatever it is, and say, okay, what does my face look like? Is it dry? Is it oily? It doesn't always need all the same steps. So sometimes it's like, I use cleansing oil and nothing else. Maybe like a little eye cream or something like that, because my face is hydrated. It doesn't need a lot of stuff. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I need a little vitamin C, or I need so I will isolate. People are very, very smart, and we're underestimating them. And, I know that we want to like to do mindless things, and I'd love to sell you all my products and tell you, yes, you've got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. No, I want you to do what's right for you. Like, let's get back to basics. Let's get back to trusting ourselves, and let's get back to trusting what we're being sold.
Yeah. And I think that gets us back to the whole money-driven question. And you know why? Because you don't have a need for, like, this is not your first business, Yeah. So I think that's an advantage, that you don't have to push. Of course, you want to sell, right? But you don't have to push your products in a way that it's only a sell. You have the time to explain it, to make sure that it's the right product for the person. Yeah. Right. So I think that's great. It's a super advantage.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely. I want to. I want this business to succeed, and eventually, if it's right, and I don't have to change anything, because I'm not going to change the formulations to go. Okay, this is going to be able to be mass produced. Yeah. And I can put it in the stores. Like, I'm not going to compromise myself that way. Yeah. But if they'll take them as is, I'd love to put them in the stores, because, this is a real company and I want it to be driven that way. But I'm going to have to keep working until this company takes off. It's, sometimes it's 3 and 4 hours of sleep, because I have got to, make sure things run, smoothly, and no one else is going to care.
Is it just you in the business?
It's me, and I've got a couple other people, but that seems to... I need to you're always working on a team, working on, and I got to tell you, Naples has been fantastic in that respect. I'm meeting such nice people that have great advice. They're like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I can connect you with so-and-so. Yeah. So-and-so would love to help you. And I feel like, although I love Miami and it's somewhat of a connection town, Naples still has that little hometown feel that, like, once you live in Naples, you're one of us now.
You're one of us.
Yeah. And we can, talk to you and tell you your secrets, and we keep you here. And I feel like some of the bigger cities don't, allow you that. But, again, I'm a Miami girl, so, no shade. I'm happy to be here in Naples.
Actually, one of my friends, we used to live in Coral Springs for some time, and I was telling my friend that a friend of ours that has a restaurant, he fell down the ladder and he needed surgery, and everybody, like the whole community, got together and put a GoFundMe.
That's great.
And they raised a lot, and great for him. And I was telling him, and he's like, really? Here they wouldn't raise anything, because on the other coast,
right?
Because there's not like that community. It's not it's not the same. It doesn't feel like Naples. So that's what we really love about Naples too.
Yeah.
It
Like a
feels like a big family.
Yeah. Yeah,
Everybody knows each other.
Yeah, and everybody gets pretty territorial. They're like, like all the outer towners, because we live here. I've seen your driver's license, so you're with us.
Right. When you were younger, what did you want to be when you were older?
A lawyer.
A lawyer? Mm-hmm.
I think you would have made a good lawyer.
Yeah, I appreciate
You
that.
have like a lawyer personality. He's like,
my poor husband has to. He will not win an argument. No. But I always come with facts. So. Exactly. I have receipts.
And how come you didn't pursue that?
So I have a son. He's 27, but he was he was very young, and I had to decide, I'd gone to school, throughout the time he was, little, and I had gotten my bachelor's, and I was like, okay, it's going to be another 4 years and, some struggling after that. And I had to decide between either being a better mom, like he had sacrificed enough, me going to school, because I still worked full time. I worked full time and went to school at night. And it was just, it was a lot. And so I had to just step back. And, I even thought about going back, a couple years ago, but I'm glad I didn't, because it's a certain part of my personality, and I love that part of my personality. But there's also such a creative part that I really wanted to nurture, and I've been able to nurture. So that has been great. I mean, I think, that so many good things came out of COVID, because people really had time to just stop and go, hey, you know what? I'm kind of good at this. I'm kind of good at this. I'm kind of good at this. And so that's when, I think I really kind of like, slowed down a little bit, and like, I make my own deodorant, I'm one of those girls.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, where do you start? Or
Pinterest is amazing. Start with Pinterest, and then a pinch of this and pinch of that, and change it up a little bit.
Like, I can't even make a bath bomb.
Yeah, sure you can. You can. You just don't want to. It's not your yet.
My daughter has gone several times that for Christmas or whatever, and that they come and nope, the ball won't stick.
She refuses to read instructions. Let's put that in. That's why.
I'm not reading instructions.
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't like instructions either. Yeah. I'm like, I can figure this out.
Yeah. And then I don't.
And you go, let's do something fun.
Skip this.
Yeah.
I have a question that I want to ask you. What is one conversation you wish you would have had with someone that you never had, or that you could have had sooner?
Oh, wow. God, how do I say any of those things without crying, right? I would say I had a conversation with my grandmother in Cuba before she passed, and I wish I would have had a lot more conversations, because that woman, she had, some life, and she had some stories, and she was still doing Tai Chi at 94 years old. Wow. So, she was also making her own products, and that, that is from my dad's side of the family. So I think everybody in my family is an amateur botanist. Now, I don't know.
Would you visit Cuba?
I visited a couple times in the past 5 years.
Does it give you a different perspective when you go visit and then come back to the States?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But there is, people are like, oh, it's so sad. There's a lot of sad things. But again, everything's perspective. And what I saw was, we came and the neighbors were coming over, bringing sugar. Everybody was trading things. Everybody was helping everybody out. We made you muffins, but that everybody on that block contributed to those muffins. So there is just a sense of community and family there. And I mean, when I say family, I don't mean blood family, that is unparalleled. It really is. And it's such a beautiful island. Unfortunately, a lot of it is dilapidated. But I mean, again, there's a lot of, Europeans and Canadians that have built some amazing things. So if you get a chance to go to Cuba, go, because it was a blast and it was safe. It was so safe. Yeah. It was I'm talking about 4 o'clock in the morning safe.
We tried to go once. We were
a long time ago.
To Cuba?
But I think you needed like
I think you need like a visa or something, right? Or a permit to go. No, maybe not now, but before.
I had to just say that I had a family members there, and I do. So, but I mean, my dad and my brother just went not too long ago, so I don't know exactly what they did. Yeah.
So different from here because like I don't even know my neighbors. You know, and over there it's like
here like in the neighborhood, if you walk past people and people don't even look up
they don't even look up.
say anything.
Yeah, we know everyone's dog in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. You know the dogs more than the people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's because of technology. Like
That's true.
It's just so like.
But technology makes you socially awkward, or at least the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't get to see, like, let's say a cousin or just an uncle or anybody, right? It's not like you knew what they were up to on a daily.
Right.
Like you do, like
Unless
you would today.
Went to their house.
Yeah. So then when people came to your house, you're like, like you have people over.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Now, like people knock on, somebody knocks and you're like,
who is it? Don't open.
Who's that?
Yeah, for sure. They want something. They always want something. That's why we have the Ring doorbell, so we can be like, what do you want? Those rings are great, though. I love those videos.
That's like the pro and con, right?
Yeah, I think that, like, we're from Peru, and I do think that this is the best country in the world. That's what I think. I came here when I was 11, 12. But the only thing that up until this day that has me thinking a little bit is like I'm very used to the good morning, good afternoon, and passing by. Like if someone passes by, you at least say hi or And sometimes those things when I don't get them, it still shocks me.
Yeah, it definitely. Or so you open the door for something, they don't say thank you.
Or text messages like I don't know. I always say good morning, and if I haven't talked to you in some time during the day, I will say hi again. But sometimes we get texts. We have a lot of clients, so we get texts and they're like, can we change this and that?
Yeah, I'm like that. It's horrible.
Oh yeah.
Good morning.
I
don't know. It's just that maybe I got used to it. I don't know.
No, we should bring back more of the pleasantries. So please do not change. It's people like me that are always just like in my head, and they're just like, just pushing it out there, and it's not. I need to slow down. I'm going to take that advice. Yeah. See, now I've learned 3 things.
What's some future goals for your company?
Of course, I want to be in everyone's bathroom. I want to.
Do you want to go directly to consumer, or are you thinking also maybe some B2B stuff, like maybe get into stores or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think everybody wants to be in Sephora or in Saks Fifth Avenue, or all of the stores, of course. And I think that would be great because it would absolutely be able to bring it to the masses. And I mean, I love a Sephora. I don't care what anybody says, because it's just one-stop shopping. We were there the other day, and I'm not going to say how much we spent, but you're just throwing stuff in the basket, and you've got your skincare and your hair care, and you've got all the things. And would I love to do a brick and mortar and open something of my own eventually? Yes, because I do have other interest. Not just in the skincare, because I'd like to do the whole body. I'd like to do actual treatments. And, I'll incorporate that in. So yeah, maybe it would be a spa or something like that featuring my products. But that's the great thing. And that's the most exciting thing about it, is because every day, like, I wake up and I'm like, so I have this idea and I think that we should do this and we should do that. I definitely have this Leo energy where I want to do everything. But so I try to harness it and just go, okay, just focus on this. Just focus on this. And just, and I know that, everything that I'm putting out to the universe is going to come to fruition, and it's going to explode. I know it's going to explode. With the help of people like you. It's like,
That's awesome. Any questions you guys have? Like in general?
This one's.
Those? Yeah.
Yeah.
What
those are fun questions.
Fire ones?
Okay.
The rapid fire ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, these are just rapid fire, random, fun questions.
Okay, I'll wait. So, what digital or software tools do you use daily to make your life easier?
Canva. Yes.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
If you can only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
That's him. Do you prefer winter or summer?
Winter.
What is your favorite holiday?
My birthday.
Yes. Do you prefer to relax at the beach or pool?
Beach.
Fifth Avenue or Mercado?
Fifth.
I think we're twins. If you can only work 2 hours a week, what would you do in those 2 hours?
I'd work on my skincare. I'd work on making ingredients, and I'd try them out on everybody. I'm like, this is amazing.
When you work on your skincare, like, do you put those goggles and you're like a little
chemist?
No, and that's why like that. No, because that's why I'm saying like you don't want because I'm just like I've got a dog in the house and I'm putting stuff together and I've got this like I used this clay mask today that I made and it's like smells like apple cider vinegar and I've got betadine clay in it and stuff like that. It smells, but your face is like but it works.
Send us a picture.
I will actually.
A book you'd recommend to read?
Oh God. What are some good ones I've read lately? I'm so bad with titles.
I don't blame you. I'm really bad with names. So.
Yeah, I'm bad with names, but I'm a voracious reader though. I like a lot of sci-fi, yeah.
If you can have lunch with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Sigmund Freud.
What's your favorite restaurant in Naples?
What is it called? What's that place called I love so much? Mediterranean.
Where is that?
It's off a third. It's so good.
Oh, I've heard of it.
It's got all the flowers and everything outside. I love it. The service is amazing. They've got everything is like fresh. It's so good.
When you think of the word successful, who comes to mind?
Elon Musk.
If you can choose any other career path, what would it be? Lawyer.
Yeah, lawyer. Or also, I'm gonna start teaching dance to senior citizens.
Wow.
I just have this need. I love to dance, and I have this need to like give it to other people. Like, let's do this. Let's exercise. Let's work out, and let's make it fun.
And why older people?
Because they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids.
I mean. I love kids, but I think older people are just really neglected,
That's
and
true.
we've got a fair amount here, and they need
plenty of retirement homes. So.
Yeah, I mean, not everybody wants to play golf, and not everybody's that mobile, but everybody can shimmy, even if you're in a chair. So I think it'd be fun.
What type of dance?
Just anything. Like I would be mainly like hip hop. I do everything. I do a lot of interpretive dance when I have too much energy. No one wants to see that, but I think I'm definitely on Broadway. I miss that calling. It would just be like, they're usually like, we're hot in their 80s. So in the 80s. So like jazzercise, anything they can do that's not, crazy, but they just are moving their body. I want to make people happy for an hour a day. My love language is acts of service. So I need to be of service to people. I need to make people smile.
You guys like dancing?
Yeah, we do. But we're not old.
Yes.
Yet.
Yeah.
What's been your best investment?
Myself.
And what's a bad piece of advice you've heard people telling others?
A bad piece of advice would be to be happy with what you have.
Oh, be happy with what you have. That's a good one. Yeah. Why?
Because I think that every day you have the ability to change who you want to be every second of every day. And I don't think you should settle at all. As far as partners, relationships, you name it, no matter what it is, I think you always have an opportunity to be better and to do better. And I think you should always be striving. Who has any respect for mediocre? When you're mediocre, when you feel like you're mediocre, you don't have any respect for yourself.
And you start hating.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're the troll that says mean things to people that
The Karen.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's hard. I mean, you guys are getting out there every day, and you guys are putting yourselves out there, and that is not easy. I know it's not easy for me. I got like so much anxiety, but you got to do it, and I'm sure that this community and everyone else you broadcast to is grateful that you guys do it, because for the 1,000 people love it, there's going to be 2 people that again aren't happy with their life. So but you can always change it. That's my thing. You can always change it. You can change your circumstances. You just got to try.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Love it.
Brynn, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh my God, thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.